So 6, under 6. What do you say? Do you under our 6? You see, that is okay. The second aspect of it, another group of 5. Okay, that one you say life and death mean the same to him. Life and death means the same to him. Life and death means the same to him. So you can see life and death. If you live, you must die. If you die, it means you have lived. Okay. Yes. So the two of them mean nothing. They mean the same to him. Living and dying to him. There's no difference. So the two of them go hand in hand. You live, you die, you die, you live. So you underline it, and when you underline it, you point your arrow downward in the second line. The third line, you write your S1. So for V1, you write means. Okay. Means the same to him. Under the means with S. So it means that's a third person singular verb. You underline means, and when you underline means, you point your arrow down in the second line. The third line, you write your V1. So life and death means the same to him. So you don't say life and death mean the same to him. If you say that, it means you have made life and death plural. The subject is not plural, singular. So the correct form is life and death means the same to him. That S, which is singular marker, when you are speaking, don't ever make mistake of slip of tongue or all these things. Even if you make mistake in speech, in writing, don't do that mistake, because the person who, if you are speaking and you make mistake, you can easily correct it. But when you write and submit for marking, that is the end. Even if you tell the marker, the examiner, that you want to collect your paper, there's an error you want to collect, he will not give you. Once you submit, that is the end. So you can make his mistake in spoken English, but don't avoid it in written English. So go to our example 6. 6 says pen and paper is there for you to write. Okay, sorry. 7 says 7 says pen and paper is there for you to write. So pen and paper. Pen. If you have pen, you must look for a paper. If you have a paper, you must look for a pen. The two of them go hand in hand. They are writing instruments. Where do you write? When you have a pen, you must write on a paper. And if you have a paper, what do? You need a pen. So the two of them go hand in hand. So they are considered as only one unit. That's a very good example of what we are seeing. That is an impression of a unit. Okay. So here we have pen and paper. So you underline your pen and paper all together. And when you underline it, you point your arrow downward and you write your S1. When you write your S1, then you have is there for you to write. So you underline S under that. When you underline S, you point your arrow downward, and then in the third line, you write your V1. So you cannot say, it is wrong to say pen and paper are there for you to write, because the two of them are considered to be one. So if you say that, it means your S2 has taken V. It means your S1 has taken V2. So what you say is pen and paper is there for you to write. Okay. So you go to 8. 8 says your cup and saucer has broken. Your cup and saucer has broken. So you know cup and saucer, teacup. Small teacups come with saucer. That's the plate where you put the cup. Okay, the plate where you put the cup, that is the saucer. So that the tea will not pour on the ground, or maybe because of the heat. Anyway, as far some people even put their loaves of bread in the saucer, but that is not really the purpose of it. It's just to beautify the object. Okay, so that is it. So we have here we have your cup and saucer has broken. So cup come with saucer. Cups, teacups come with saucer. So when you remember cup, you remember saucer. So you underline saucer. Saucer is S-A-U-C-E-R. S-A-U-C-E-R. So you underline cup and saucer all together, and that becomes our S1. You underline cup and saucer together all together, and then you point your arrow downward in the second line. The third line, you write your S1. So that is then we have has broken. Under the structure has broken, you underline has. When you underline has, you point your arrow downward in the second line. In the third line, you write your V1. So cup and saucer, your cup and saucer has broken. You don't say your cup and saucer have broken. If you say your cup and saucer have broken, it means you are counting the cup as a separate object, and you are counting the saucer as another different object, but they are the same. They come together. So we go to our example 9. Okay, example 9, still cup and saucer again. See, cup and saucer is there. Cup and saucer is there on the table. Cup and saucer is there on the table. Okay, the cup and saucer is there on the table. So for that one, cup and saucer is there on the table. Under that one, what do? You underline cup and saucer as we did in example 8. You underline cup and saucer. When you underline cup and saucer, your arrow points downward in the second line. In the third line, you write your S1. Cup and saucer are always there on the dining table. They are very useful during breakfast or tea time. Okay, so you underline it, and then that is our S1. Then it's there on the table. Under that one too, you underline is. Okay, when you underline is, you point your arrow down on the second line, then the third line you write your V1. Okay, so you don't say cup and saucer are there on the table. No, cup and saucer are there on the table. On the other hand, if you say cups and saucers, very good. If you say cups and saucers, then it means each cup and saucer. Each cup is a plural. So you say cups and saucers are there on the table. Yes. You can say cups and saucers are there, but cup and saucer without S is there on the table. So you don't say cup and saucer are there on the table. It is wrong. If you say that, means your S1 has taken V2. So the correct form is cup and saucer is there on the table. So we go to our last one for today, which is of course example 10. 10 says garri and sugar is good for lunch. Garri and sugar is good for lunch. Already I've explained to you how garri is produced. It's processed. Okay, how it is processed. So we have a garri again here, and the sugar. That's in the afternoon if you want to drink garri. Eating garri is different from drinking garri. When you eat garri, it means you eat it with soup. When you drink garri, it means you drink it with water. The flakes you pour as if you are the way you prepare warm cornflakes with ordinary water. Yes, that's the way you drink garri. So garri and sugar is good for lunch. So under that, you underline garri and sugar. When you underline garri and sugar, that is head. You look at even something. The garri is there in a cup, and then you pour the sugar inside it. You pour the sugar into the garri, then you stir it to get everything together. So it's one unit, just like bread and butter, the way you eat bread and butter. So if you want to eat bread and butter, for example, you don't put bread in your mouth and then add butter later. You rub the butter on the bread. So it's one. So this one too, garri, you pour sugar into it so that it becomes one. So garri and sugar is good for lunch. So under that, you underline garri and sugar. When you underline garri and sugar, you point your arrow downward in the second line. In the third line, you write your S1. Then we have is good for lunch. Under that, you underline is. When you underline is, you point your arrow downward in the second line. Then in the third line, you write your V1. So you don't say garri and sugar are good for lunch. If you say that, it means your S2 has taken V. It means your S1 has taken V2. So the correct form is garri and sugar is good for lunch. So I believe you are really enjoying what we are doing. Please always like. The number of likes is let me just see. It's low. It's low somehow. So as we continue to present this presentation, okay, as we continue to present this presentation, please remember to always follow, like, and share. Right. Thank you very much for your attention today. Until we meet in the next 24 hours, when we shall be looking at exceptional case 3. Exceptional case 3. English is very, very interesting. It's sweet. Even me, as I'm presenting it, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Let me see. Can I even say I'm enjoying it more than you, the listener? Yes, I'm enjoying it. So thank you very much for your attention. To meet again in the next 24 hours. All right, from B Telly. All right.